It was the middle of summer in Great Britain, and Gordon, the Northwestern Railway's mighty 462 Pacific, was kept very busy hauling express trains between Knapford and Barrow-in-Furness. But over the last few weeks, he noticed that the train had been getting heavier and heavier. Not helping the situation was a certain trio of green tank engines relentlessly teasing him about it. This was despite the fact that Gordon, James and Henry had all apologised for bullying the 5700 pannier tank when he first arrived. One night, an exhausted Gordon arrived at Tidmouth Sheds, much to the surprise of the Little Western and Farquhar boys. As it turned out, the Knapford turntable's mechanism had failed right before he was due to return from the station. I hear that the express is getting too heavy. So much for the island's strongest locomotive award. Yeah, looks like the galloping sausage can't do his own job anymore. Perhaps the Fat Controller should get an unrebuilt bullied Pacific to replace him. In which case he'll probably try to prove himself, only to fall in the ditch again. Oliver, Galloping Sausage was actually the W1's nickname. In case you haven't noticed, I'm a sodding A0, not a weird 464 with a water tube boiler. Lads, can't you just give this man a break? He's been working incredibly hard at trying to help the passengers, and he deserves our respect for that. If you keep teasing Gordon like this, you'll get your comeuppance before you've even realised what's happened. And besides, I can't help that the express has been getting heavier and heavier. Sodor is a very popular tourist destination after all, and I'm trying my best to handle the workload. Yeah, sure you are. This is going to be a long night. Percy, Duck and Oliver kept on teasing, but Thomas and Toby remained respectfully silent. Although the Big Blue Pacific had been rude to him in the past, the E2 still thought it was best to try and help out his fellow locomotive. The next morning, Gordon blasted out of Knapford Station as usual. Although the turntable had been fixed, and he wouldn't need to bunk at Tidmouth again, he dreaded what the green tank engines would say the next time he met them. Meanwhile, Thomas was making his way up the Farquhar branch with Annie and Clarabelle. As he arrived at Maithwaite, he noticed the Fat Controller standing on the platform. I'm worried about Gordon, sir. Percy, Duck and Oliver keep teasing him about the heavy express. Thank you for telling me, Thomas. I will attend to the matter immediately. The next day, the Fat Controller made his way to Tidmouth, having come up with a plan. Percy, Oliver and... Wait, where's Duck? Sorry I'm late, sir. I got held up at Hulltraw due to a kid who said his favourite railway company was the LNS. I'm afraid I just could not stand that sort of insubordination, and had to tell him about how much better the GWR is. Blimey, it's no wonder James called him a Great Western supremacist the other week. Believe me, Percy, he can get so much worse than that. Silence! Percy, Duck, and Oliver. I'm sending Gordon to the workshops for some much-needed maintenance. In the meantime, you three will take his place on the express. But sir, can't James and Henry do it? They're much stronger than us. Besides, we have shunting to do. James and Henry can do your work instead. Don't worry, you three. I'm sure that you can haul the express if you work together. And if you do so, you might be just as good as Gordon. without referencing Season 8. And besides, if a talking sponge can have romantic feelings for a hamburger, I don't see why you three can't handle the Express. We will try our best. The three tank engines tried as hard as they could to get the coaches moving, but it wasn't easy. Man, no wonder Gordon comes home exhausted. This train is heavy. Percy and the Westerners struggled with the Express for the next week. Their axles were aching, and they felt like there was no end to it. Needless to say, the trio was very relieved when Gordon came back from Crovan's Gate. Good news, everyone. The workmen cleaned out my boiler tubes, and now I feel as good as new. Good. Now would you be so kind as to take the Express back? We're not gonna take it! No, we ain't gonna take it. We're not gonna take it anymore. Oh, great. Now the bozos are referencing Twisted Sister. Whatever next. Now, Percy and company. In future, you should reconsider what you say to Gordon before you say it. Yes, we will, sir. No problem about it. Thomas couldn't make it to Knapford to observe Gordon's return, but he heard about it through word of mouth. He was happy that his plan to help Gordon had worked, and the Fat Controller rewarded the NWR's number 1 and 4 with new coats of paint, while Percy and the Westerners have now learnt not to be so mean.